senior year comes around, and it's February 1st is the day that changed a lot of people's lives forever. February 1st of 2020, um, my son was in a car accident. He was driving on a 2-lane road in Lee Summit, very close between our house and another friend's house. I was at work. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and um, Colin was driving with, I didn't know at the time, but he had friends in the car, and he decided to try to pass a car. It was a double line. He had driven this road a million times, and so have I. Unfortunately, when he tried to pass, he did see another car in that dip where it comes over the hill. So he tried to retreat and go back, and he tried to get back in his place, and he overcorrected, and he did come across that center line. And that car that was coming did strike the car and pulled Colin's car all the way into the ditch of the other side. Um, I I didn't find out until I came home, and a little business card from the police department fell, and I picked it up, and it said, "Call without haste." And I'm like, well, what? What could this be? What did he do? I just so I called, and I was backing up to, I was actually supposed to be at a meeting. And he told me that Colin had been in an accident and that I needed to get to research as soon as possible.
Research Hospital in Kansas City.
Yes, Kansas City, Missouri. Yes. That was the trauma. That's where the trauma people go. That's where they specialize in trauma. And so I totally panicked. I started driving and didn't remember how to get to research. I was like, I got to get there, but I was lost, and I was calling people, and they were telling me how to get there. And I was just like, no, that, I don't know where that is. And, just completely, felt like this is, I got to get there as soon as possible, but I'm lost. And so when I got to research, they said he was with the chaplain. And I was like, oh no. And
Yeah, that's a tough one for a mother to hear.
yeah, I didn't know anything. And so they let me see Colin. He was on the gurney. He was getting ready to have surgery. And so I asked him some questions, and he didn't know. He didn't know what happened or anything. I said, he didn't know who was in the car. He didn't know if he was alone or not. He didn't know anything. So then right behind me was his dad and his stepmom. And I stepped away, and they talked. And then Brian, his father, as they were taking Colin into surgery, said, "Do you know about the other boys?" And I said, "No, I don't." And he said, "Both of them died." And that is when my life um, changed forever. And so did a lot of people's. And so I fainted. They got me in a wheelchair, and I went up to the intensive care waiting room, and it was full of people, of kids, of classmates. Um,
That had to be hard to see that.
I mean, everybody, every girlfriend he ever had. Sometimes some of them were with their parents, because Colin was so friendly that everybody's parents loved him. I mean, he was a great kid. So I know that when addiction takes over, you know who they are before that addiction starts. So they're not the people that you think they are. I mean, they are everywhere, and those people, you know, are people as well as addicts. And so um, when another mother was there and she said, "Do you know who was in the car with him?" And I said, "No, I don't." And she said, "Do you want to know?" And I'm like, I mean, what choice do
That's
I
a
have?
tough
I mean, of
question,
course I want to know, but no,
especially if they knew.
I mean, these are friends. These are not
Yeah.
just, you know, I mean, these are his core group of, they call themselves the bros.
Well, first, I want to say before you go any further, I think any of us listening, putting ourselves in your shoes in that moment, I don't think any of us would have been able to be prepared. And to have anybody, approach us and ask us, "Do you want to know who was in the car?" I mean, let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Nobody has ever been prepared to be in that environment, in that scenario. So I'm just sitting here going, you're sitting in a mother's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know that whoever was in the car is gone. And I know that my son is in surgery. And I don't know, honestly, I didn't even know what he was in surgery for. Um, so he, I looked around kind of to see who was missing. Um, and so she told me who they were. And again, these are kids I know. These are not,
Kids
you
that have
know,
been to your home.
yes. And so I literally just at that moment felt like a zombie, like no longer my soul was in my body.
Oh, I don't think you can. Yeah, I
I
don't.
mean,
You're.
I just literally couldn't handle it. And
You couldn't process it.
I just, I, I think I fell to my knees. Um, I'm pretty sure things start to get fuzzy for me at this point for quite a while. They got a doctor involved to give me something to calm me down. So the next thing I remember is the surgeon coming in, and he said, you know, this is, an 18-year-old boy that had a blood clot in his aorta and able to save the time to get a stent in his heart, which is normally